Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's Jesus and Lucci here for the second installment of our Wise Guys Revealed series. And again, this is in preparation here to launch our new course called Modern Flow Trading. And this is where we talk about really how to use options order flow to your advantage, no matter what strategy you currently employ. Again, options flow trading can be used to trade numerous different strategies. We got futures traders, we got options traders, we got day traders, swing traders, and we got the equity side traders, guys who just trade equity and don't even mess with the options at all. So today, actually, we have a pretty in-depth swing trading sort of checklist, and this is something you can access through the course, but we're going to go through one of the big bullet points of that checklist, and it is how to be more selective and why you need to be more selective. So, Jesus, why don't you go ahead and take it away, man?
Yeah, and I want to just apologize. I got a little bit of cough, so if you hear some sneezing, sniffling, still feeling a little bit of under the weather, so I want to apologize at the get-go here. But yeah, Lucci, it's pretty general. I mean, the number one bullet there is in general terms. Obviously, you need to be more selective, but it's a common mistake amongst everybody in general, okay, who's trading off wise guy action or any other indicator they use. And now more than ever, I would say, I mean, this market probably now, all of last year and going into this year, is one of the toughest markets I've seen in a while when it comes to swing trading. And, you know, when you come off a rally like we've had since the 2009 lows, and you're this long in the tooth, okay, without any legitimate pullback per se, you're going to run into these times. So now more than ever, okay, the number one bullet point on that 10 commandment checklist to be more selective is of utmost importance, okay? And we go through, and that's why we did this course. I mean, obviously, it's easy to say be more selective, but there are a lot of things that you can focus on and that allows you to stay a little more patient, okay? It allows you to look for specific characteristics in wise guy action that will set up better risk-reward opportunities, okay? A better probability of a decent-sized move, because that's another problem. A lot of, especially of these option players, okay, and a lot of these players these days are newbies when it comes to the option game. They think they could just swing anything out there. Yeah. You know, any action that hits the board, they think they could just get in and hold it through expiration, and you know the name is just going to run and they're going to make nothing but money. And obviously that doesn't happen. So you know, we go through in detail in the course, okay? And again, that's why we did the course, to elaborate in detail on every single thing that can help you incorporate this into any style. Whether you're swing trading, day trading, it's irrelevant. Today we're talking about swing trading. And I'll just rattle off a couple of examples, okay? A lot of players out there, they see action, let's just say in SPY, for example. Okay, and back in February, if you guys, you know, anybody on Twitter knows, we call them the Bazooka Joe lows back in February. Okay, that's when the sharp money just came into those lows and we're firing some big-time call buying into that weakness. All right, and then there was nothing but bullish wise guy action throughout that whole entire rally. So, and a common mistake amongst a lot of retail traders out there is to tail some SPY weekly call buying or front month call buying that's smaller in size or not as sharp at the tailer end of this rally and expect that to, you know, be a decent setup. And I mean, just common sense behind that is not the case, but they get wrapped up into the action. So it goes back to that human emotion where even though you see the rallies long in the tooth and we're due for a pullback at some point, you know, retail traders are just going to hop into any little hot action they see. And what happens is they'll get in up here. They'll have 2 days of a follow through. Obviously, they're not looking to sell. You know, swing traders are looking for a bigger move there. And then they get caught in this And Lucci, you're a big proponent of that, what this can do as far as, even if you're in further out strikes, what this can do in time value alone on the option side, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, absolutely. And what else we're seeing up here in the market at close to all-time highs is, we're seeing a lot of SPY bets that come in, and those IWM bets. We're seeing tons of IWM bets, tons of SPY bets, tons of Q bets, and all of them are pointing to those all-time highs. But we are in this choppy zone where we don't have that same momentum. And that's one of the huge parts about why you need to be selective, because if you don't have that momentum, you're not going to get that follow through that you need to really pay you out. Back down at 182 on the SPYs, or the S&P 500 here, back down at 1820, where we saw those huge Bazooka Joe, buyers. Number one, like the size bets were gigantic. Okay, and then number two, look at where we were in the market. It's like if there was a reversal down here, the momentum is ridiculous. Why? Because everybody is trapped on the short side, and that gives you this huge, huge momentum burst that you can really trade off of. Right now, we're in the summer months. We don't have that momentum at all. The ranges are really, really tight. So things take a little bit longer. All right. So with swing trading, there's a lot of other conditions, a lot of other things that go into the situation before you actually take that trade.
yeah, and that's the difficulty of swing trading. Okay, and that's why I've chosen to be a day trader over the last couple of years, because the swing trades have been tougher. You really have to be more patient, really more selective. You walk in the next day and there's some news out of Asia or some Fed speak, and you're gapping lower, and you're finished on your calls instantaneously. So obviously, swing trading is a tough game to begin with. All right, so you have to take in, like Lucci said, the other characteristics as far as market conditions and several others we list in the course and go into detail. Okay, and just common sense, and that's another thing we go through in detail in the course, is that, to focus on the difference between turning points like the Bazooka Joe lows, okay, and how that's a better probability and how that's a better setup for swing trading purposes, rather than up here after we've seen, a rally and some smaller SPY bets. So, these are things, and I list 10 characteristics that you can run through very quickly, taking maybe a week or two for them just to jump out off the top of your head, and you can solely focus on the better setups out there. Okay, there are setups out there. They're just very minimal, especially now, and you got to be patient. You got to be patient to let them set up. Aside from day trading, where you could just go in and fire, and as long as you minimize your downside, you're okay. Obviously, your risk exposure is a lot more when it comes to the swing trading. All right, and just other things like even ETF bets in general. Okay, I got a lot of rebuttals from people on Twitter and so forth about a VXX bet we spotted back over here last month. Okay, and a lot of people were looking maybe to swing trade that, and that's just not the type of action you want to swing trade. Okay, that's used more for sentiment purposes, and again, that stuff we go over in the course. But you're not going to be quick enough to get in this VXX here and sell this little rip. And then ultimately, you're stuck in this downdraft now, where you shouldn't have been in the trade to begin with. Okay, so again, we list in detail the characteristics and elaborate into them as far as what not to swing trade, and more importantly, what characteristics to focus on when it comes to swing trading. And like I said, more on the option side than anything else, Lucci. When you're looking to get in a position of call buying, and you're not going to be quick. Okay, we know traders aren't going to sell after that 1-2 day pop they get, especially swing traders. You're looking for that bigger upside move, so a lot of things have to align for you to have a higher probability of seeing that move.
Indeed. Indeed. What else would you say goes into the equation here to, to section out or throw away ideas, when it comes to swing trading? I mean, what would you say are some of the top things that, you have to really think about before making a swing trade? I would say, just overall sentiment across, options flow as well as just how the market is looking. And if you're unable to do that, which not a lot of traders are able to do or assess properly, because again, everybody's watching every single tick, right? Everybody's watching every single tick, and it's so easy to get pushed to one bias or another bias. With swing trading, you have to kind of give these things a little bit of space, but you have to stay, with the sentiment of the markets. So gauging sentiment, I would say, is a top one. What else do you think is out there?
Yeah, and again, not obviously, and I've heard from a lot of people on Twitter, I don't want to give too much away from the course, okay? That's why I'm kind of excited about the course,
Of course.
Because we list in detail every single thing when I was swing trading that I would look for. But yes, sentiment is most important in my opinion, but at the same time, I wouldn't get too wrapped up in sentiment because I think turning points are
Okay.
the best swing trade.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
in other words, like we mentioned the Bazooka Joe lows,
Yep.
where we had nothing but bearish action, nothing but put sweepers, late 2015 into the early part of 2016, and all of a sudden we saw a change, and that's what I call the sweet spot when it comes to swing trading, and I think that's something every swing trader should try to be patient and focus on are those turning points, because like you just pointed out, when you were referring to it earlier in this webinar, that's where the juice is, right? That's where everyone's tracked short. That's where nobody's long. That's where everyone.
It's so true. That's where you're going to get the cheapest costs to play that option. You know what I mean? You're always going to get the better cost to trade those options when you're swing trading. And this is one of the biggest issues with swing trading in general is that, people get in at the height of these moves. People get in at after these things have already happened. And then what ends up happening is you're paying super high for premiums. Those premiums are going to chop up a little bit, and then there's going to be a wild shakeout. So you might be still right in that, direction or whatever it is, but you're going to get that wild shakeout. Can you go like 6 days after those Bazooka Joe lows? You see that one candle? You see that one candle on the SPY? Right there, exactly. And you're going to get that. That is always going to happen to you if you're late to the trade. You're always going to get that. And this is where your option premium gets crushed. It literally will get crushed. And if you're sitting there down 50% or 75% of your swing trade, what are you going to do? You're going to average down on it? You're going to hold it? Like, that's not, that's not going to be easy. Number two, your emotions are going to go wild when you're looking at your P&L down 75%. And this is going to open the door towards a lot of other bad decision making. So it becomes a snowball effect. So those reversal points, you're absolutely right. If you can stick to being selective, when there's that most juice and that all that sort of what word am I looking for? All that sort of reversal volume, that momentum is building up. As they slowly squeeze and push people to the wrong side of the trade, and then it all lets go, and you have this sort of spring effect, and that's where you're going to see the most cash. So I agree with you there, right there, Jesus. That's a huge point there.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So at the same time, yes, sentiment's important, but you want to catch when that sentiment changes, and that's the beauty of the wise guy action. You can pick up in real time when that sentiment actually changes.
Nice.
Okay, and it doesn't even have to be off a big correction like we've seen. Even the most recent pullback we just had in this market, where we came down, consolidate a bit. And then, we saw that Netflix sharp August-September call buying come in into Netflix weakness, and it wasn't just one trade. They came in 3, 4, 5 times into Netflix into that weakness, which set up a sweet spot in Netflix for a swing trade. Yep. Okay, so those are the type of things we focus on in the course. Again, in detail, for you guys to be on alert and keep an eye out for certain characteristics to me.
Indeed, indeed, guys. We know, we do understand that we have a lot of questions here coming in, about, we want more, we want more, we want more. Well, you can get it all. You can get it all here. Again, for a nice discount here, just for these 3 webinars that we're throwing out here. So you're going to get $100 off on the actual course. So it's priced at $500. You get $100 off. But this is the value that you're getting. Again, you get in-depth videos here, and where Jesus and I both believe are is the real value here is the live session. So you're going to get weekly live sessions where we are literally going to go through day trades that both Jesus and I are taking, and then as well as swing trade analysis. Some of the best swing trades that have lined up for that week, for that month. So you're going to get live sessions here. On top of that, okay, you are going to be able to consult with us if you're looking to automate a particular strategy, if you need help with your taxes, if you want to set up, an entity to house, some of the trading activity that you have. We can also help you selecting a better broker, so you can optimize your commission schedules, maybe cut down on some of the costs that you're, having to incur while trading. And then we're also going to throw in a psychology crash course, and this is a compilation of videos that I have from a course that I used to sell, in previous months, and we're taking out the psychology section out and putting it right in here. And again, psychology is one of the most important parts of trading here. If you don't have a handle on your mental state, it's going to be very hard for you to day trade or swing trade in general. So you're getting all that value, and then on top of that, you're going to get a free month here of the Steam Room. That way you can check out, again, mobile platform, get access to private Twitter, and then also sit in the room with us as we analyze this stuff in real time. Okay, so all this is happening in real time, and you'll get all the analysis and access to it in real time. Okay, and this is where Jesus and I live, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. This is where we are every single day talking to everybody that is in there. Okay, these are all the topics here that you're going to get in the course. You guys have your link. Again, it's $100 off. While we're doing this particular promo. And that's it, guys. That is it here. Jesus, I think Monday or Tuesday, we're going to bring in, some of the day trading. We have a 10 commandments here of day trading on top of, what we're doing for swing trading. And I think we're going to discuss a couple of topics here on the day trading side. And again, day trading is a little bit different. And Jesus, you currently day trade right now just equity. And we're going to go through some of the key points that you use on how to day trade.
Yeah, and in my opinion, again, that's where I think the true edge is in this stuff, and that's why I focus on day trading. And because of, I guess, the type of action we're looking at, it's options, order flow. A lot of day traders of equity, I guess, have a misconception that this is not for them, where, in my opinion, that's where the true edge lies. If you can day trade on the equity side, there is no better real-time indicator out there on the street. If you can find one, let me know. So that's why you can even sense it in my voice. I get a lot more excited when I talk about the day trading aspect. And listen, don't get me wrong. I'm a swing trader, okay? Like I said, I was swing trading from, again, the lows of 2009 all the way up to a couple of years ago.
Yep.
It's where swing trading got a little more difficult.
Me too. That was my prime time, man. Swing trading 2009, 2010, 2011, up to about 2012. That was my prime time. I mean, that was where I made the bulk of my cash because it was easy to swing trade. It was just buy dips, buy dips, buy dips every freaking day. And now, we're in a much different market environment, and that is why you're going to need a little help here, and just like we had for the topic here, you're going to need to be a lot more selective. 2009, you could buy anything. It didn't matter. You could buy anything. Now, it's not the case. You have to rotate where the smart players are playing, and we can find where the smart players are playing through the options order flow, guys. So take advantage of this discount.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
So take advantage of the discount that we have out here. $100 off, and you're getting all this added value here. It's a great deal. Jesus, why don't you go ahead and give us some closing comments here?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like with swing trading, it's patience. You know what I mean? That's what you need to have a lot of right now is the patience and being able to wait for certain stars to align to set up that high probability trade where you didn't have to really concern yourself earlier on in the rally, 2010, 2011. Now you really have to stay patient for those things to line up. But basically, guys, in simple English, okay, a lot of this stuff we spoke about over the years on Twitter. We talk about this every day in the chat room, but a lot of it doesn't sink. All right, what this course is basically, all right, is preparing you for when you come into that room. Now you have a game plan, you have a style that you feel comfortable with that meets according to your risk, your bank account, your trading account, and so forth. Okay, now you have an understanding of how to use this information. All right, that's when the light bulbs will start to go off. And to be honest, there are a lot of guys I see in the room that they come in and maybe 2-3 weeks, they got it. Okay, but more than not, a lot of people just come into the room, they're looking for those stock picks. They're looking for something to just almost like be a remote control on their trading, do it for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they're gone. And they didn't even really take a good enough and in-depth look on what the hell's going on around them. But this course will set you up in detail. It will break down everything you need to know, okay? So you set up a style you feel comfortable with, and that way you could come into the steam room and get ready to fire, whatever action meets those parameters. So that's basically what it is. And just one more thing before I go here. I think the weekly webinar, and Lucci, I've told you this time and time again, that's why we really wanted to put it in there. The weekly webinars that we include in here is really going to that's the cherry on top, okay? Because like I said, you can digest all this information, you can understand it, but then once we break it down to you in real time every day, you see what's going on with action that took place right in front of your eyes. That's when you get a better understanding of how all this works. And again, you'll be able to see that true edge in all of this.
Nice, nice. All right, guys. So you guys have the link. Go ahead and use that. Take advantage of this huge value that we're throwing out there, and hopefully we will see you guys in the Steam Room on Monday. Remember, there's a Tuesday webinar as well where we'll break down one of the key points here that we use as far as intraday trading. Jesus has given us a sort of 10 commandments for intraday trading, 10 commandments for swing trading, and that is all stuff that you'll get access to inside the course. So again, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Hopefully, we'll see you guys in the Steam Room on Monday. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Jesus, thanks, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yep, have a great weekend, everybody.
Later.